Hello, hello. Going to take a second here. Hey everyone, it's Kelly from Zynnyme. I am on multiple social media platforms as well as our free community on Mighty Network. If you haven't heard already, the doors for Business School for Therapists are open until this Friday. I will include the link that you can click to learn more. But I wanted to talk a little bit about what it means to let people help you. And where have we learned patterns of protecting ourselves from letting other people in? And I think a lot of us have narratives from the systems that we are raised in, our family of origin. What did you learn about asking for help? And what have you learned about creating safety to ask for help? And I think if we can reflect on that, it will inform how we ask for help in our businesses. Oftentimes, we don't know what we don't know. And we need community and we need others to help us along our path. I hear a lot about bootstrapping, and I did it myself, and I just don't believe anybody gets where they're going on their own. Somebody helped them. There's a whole system that's facilitating some part of their path. I don't think we succeed well in isolation, and that it is in community and surrounding ourselves with people who are safe that allow us to really, really thrive. So I wanted you just to think about, what have you learned about help? And one of the stories that I share in our How to Set Fees training is about my grandmother who had this black leather bound register where she would track anytime she lent out money, even if it was really without the assumption that she would be paid back. She had a ledger and she would keep everyone's name and amount of money. And it could be anything from like down payment on a car or help with groceries, anything. Had this register with everything in it. And I remember being taught that every grandchild's name was in that book and that I should never have my name in that book. And I'm the one grandchild that when my grandmother passed that didn't have my name in that book. Because I think that was an early message of when you ask for help, it comes with expectation. It's never just freely given. And I never understood or trusted early on that people could just freely give without there being a catch. And I've had to do a lot to undo that. But I imagine, what has that done for me when I was first starting my business? And if I hadn't healed those parts, I wouldn't have reached out for coaching. I wouldn't have built my practice like I had. So it's interesting to reflect on times you've asked for help, times that has hurt you, or times that it has helped you. What stops you from asking for help? And I thought it'd be interesting to do a little guided imagery, if you're down for that today, where we could look at what the difference is in the tension. So if you want to join me, it'd be fun. I see a lot of you are in here in the Mighty Network. Phoebe, Monica, Osiris, welcome to Business School, by the way. My friend Chanel, hello, welcome. Jamal, Corey, Candace. So if you want to just take a moment, if you're in a place that you can kind of close your eyes, that's really great to do. And then we're just going to take a couple breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. One more time, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. I want you to just scan your body at the moment, just seeing where your tension is, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. just kind of rate that on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being super tense and stressed, 0 being absolutely relaxed, and where you land there. I want you to imagine or think about, if you're not a visual person, something that you are afraid of. It could be spiders, it could be heights, it could be something altogether different, maybe a person or a situation. And I want you to imagine yourself just briefly face to face with that fear. By yourself. No one's there with you. Now check in with your body. Do you notice the tension kind of rising at all? Take another deep breath. Now I want you to imagine people who you love and trust showing up and standing alongside you, holding you, maybe even surrounding you. You can think of the most closest, safest person in your life and continue to extend it to other outer rings of trust. You may even imagine ancestors, people who have passed, people who from generations before who are watching over you, surrounding you. Who is showing up for you that is safe, that is protecting, that is loving on you and encouraging you? Who really matters right now? As you are surrounded by these people, how do you feel now about the fear? It's still there. But what is your relationship to it now? Take a moment to feel yourself surrounded by those people. And check in with your body. Again, from the tips of your toes all the way up to the top of your head. What has shifted for you? I want you to thank those people who have shown up for you. And when you're ready, come back and open your eyes. I would love to see in the chat, what did you notice shift from when you're facing a fear alone to when you're facing a fear with people surrounding you who are safe? Now I have people in multiple places, so I'm going to kind of go back and forth. And I can also speak to, it's something like there's a distance put between me and that fear. I feel more able to face whatever that fear is. And I think sometimes our business is no different. Something so exciting can also bring a lot of fear with it. It was much more loving energy than I was telling myself. I love that. Thank you for sharing. It gives me confidence. Matthew, I feel grateful and supported. I love that, right? So why is it when we face things in our business, we start to tell ourselves, well, it shouldn't be this hard, or, I don't want people to know that I'm struggling, or that I don't really love what I created, even though it's successful, or those kinds of things. I want to ask you, what is that doing to your business? because there are fears that will come up in all stages. I've been doing this for a long time. In addition to my private practice, I've started other businesses, Zynnyme, and even being in Zynnyme for over 11 years, there's still new fears that come. So who is surrounding you and supporting you? The difference of having community and having people who see you make all the difference in how you interact with those fears. And when we are in isolation, we can get really caught up in our head and we can raise our cortisol. Our amygdala can be swelling up with activation. And so I just want to be aware here in this moment of the value of having people who love you, who are in your corner, can quell the neurobiological responses, but can also build you up to face whatever those fears are. There are people who have gone before you. That's why I talked a little bit about ancestors and people that have gone before you and done this work, who are maybe a little bit further on the other side of things, that can help pull you along. It is why I love our community so much, right? We're all on the same page. We want to see each other because when I see you, I see part of myself in you as well. And we know we aren't alone. So ask yourself, what have you been facing in your life or in your business? And where have you not been calling upon help? We're meant to be in community. We don't have to do this alone. And what would it look like if you had more support? It doesn't even have to be business school. It doesn't even have to be us. But just having more support, opening up just a little bit more, sharing what you need, asking for what you need, asking someone to help you. What could that do for the trajectory of your future? Because so many times we are suffering needlessly. And we are in our pain, in our head. We're turning inward so much, and people don't know how much we're hurting. When there's someone that has support and answers for you. I love this. Osiris says, Brene Brown introduced a practice of mine that I love. I have my favorite 5 written down on a card. I have the same. I read it when I need to be reminded that I'm loved and supported. Same. I have the same 5. I have the same little Post-it. Whenever I get worried about what other people think of me, I look at those 5 and say, this is who matters. Matthew posts about the therapist burnout. We did a whole training on that on Friday about how burnout is actually a trauma response cycle in our businesses. And too often, when we are in that trauma state, we're not even seeing who could we ask for help, right? Thanks for doing this exercise with me. I'm hoping that it encourages you to think through what you're needing right now in your business. Some of you are in our business school. Some of you have just recently joined. The doors close on Friday. But if you're needing more support for not just right now, but for as your business cycles through changes, we are here for you. I really do care about the health and wellness of therapists across the world. There are more people to serve than we can handle right now. And yet, many of us are doing our best to serve all those people at the sacrifice of our own health and well-being. You take care of so many other people. Who's taking care of you? If there's something we can do to be of support, we want to do that. Pay attention to who showed up in your vision. who's there helping you and guiding you. Maybe even reach out to one of those people today and thank them for being a safe person in your life. But also speak up for what you need. Ask, give it voice. Oftentimes, without a voice, it's scarier. But once we start saying what's going on, it loses its power over us. Thanks for being here. Hope to see you in business school.